memory screens, living in the grand spatial dream. Visualize just what we mean. Innovation shaping our fate. Together we celebrate. From data to display, community lights the way. Liquid galaxy, we see it all. Technological marvel standing tall. Liquid galaxy, together we thrive. In the heart of the tech behind. We glide from the peaks to the seas, exploring with ease. Mapping the future's bright, our bond ignites the night. Collaborate, innovate, together we elevate. Liquid galaxy, we see it all. Technological marvel standing tall. Liquid galaxy, together we thrive. The heart of the tech behind. Liquid galaxy, we see an old technological marvel standing tall. Liquid galaxy, together we thrive in the heart of the
Victor, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Illness season, I feel.
You mean that some virus are hanging around your...
Around me, everywhere.
Good. So for you to know, we're live too in the stage of the Discord, Liquid Galaxy Discord. And I will appreciate if some of our colleagues will say something regarding the sound. Hello. Hello. Give me give me feedback.
Yeah.
Feedback for the sound.
And maybe
at
the end of the talk we can
Sorry?
answer. We can maybe at the end of this event we can answer some questions.
I think we have a problem.
Okay.
No, that's correct. I was not listening to you, but I am not listening to you. Sound is clear. Sound is good. That's fantastic. Impressive.
Thanks.
So, Victor, thank you very much for coming today. It's the second training we do this season, starting for Liquid Galaxy community.
I didn't want to be rude with you, fool, but keep your secret safe is something like, every year you can say never is late to say this.
To say what?
Keep your secret safe.
Okay. You mean doing for the title of your conversation that looks pretty interesting.
Yes.
So I wanted to say again, Victor, thank you for staying with us today. We just jumped from another meet together that for knowing of the other guys that are listening to us, we are just organizing with our colleague Alfredo Bautista, Google Developer Expert in Dart, Flutter, organizing the Flutter Conf Spain, and we will just jump from another meet to this one to share some knowledge with our colleagues. So thank you for coming, Victor. And I'm going to leave you touch. Remember, there will be your slides and your face only. I will be not here, but I will be listening. And when you finish, we can answer some questions of our colleagues, okay?
Perfect.
So stage is yours.
Okay, thanks so much. It never goes out of style. Keep your secret safe. This is something that everybody has to keep this in mind. First of all, it's me. You can follow me in LinkedIn. This QR code follows you. And you can see me in different around different organizations and different flavors, but with the same core. It's to share knowledge. Why are we here? All right. Well, this in Liquid Galaxy project and in Google Summer of Code, this is more interesting because when we are in private repositories, private companies, the mistakes are not always public. Sometimes it's just as private as the company where you work. But talking open source is public. Your mistakes are public. So Google Summer of Code is about learning, not leaking. So keep always this in mind. Nobody wants to have your secrets shared with everybody. Let's put an example, because the best way to see something or to learn something is with a good example. The repo of same. It's the classic mistake. This is Homer. I think everybody knows him, or maybe I am an old guy, probably. Your child is 3 You just want the API to work no more. So probably you are not thinking really the what is going to happen following this, but maybe you want to put your secrets, your API key for Google Maps, or sometimes it's now with the AI, maybe you want to use the API key for your Gemini client, and you are not thinking too much, but boom, you just pushed your credit card to GitHub. Maybe you don't know that or maybe you think, okay, Victor, that's not exactly what I think so, because I just put it an API key. But if that API key is a paid API, you have a really big trouble. Bots scan public repos in seconds. Don't be that person that can share this and put yourself in a big trouble. So hide it, it's better. Always it's better. But first of all, let's talk about the stupid way. The stupid way, hard coding in your constants file, Dart file, is a bad way. Commit your .env file to the repo is a bad way. Thinking, hey, I will remove it before the PR. You know that you won't, because you forget this, and you will. But no, I don't have this kind of issues, because also I can use shared preference. I can connect and storage information in this way. No, you don't. First of all, we have to clarify something. Shared preference is an empty file, so don't storage anything in the devices using shared preference. If shared preference is something that you have to use only for constant data that you don't care if they are public. You will not use your API key. You will not save your API keys in shared preference. Let's avoid mixing things. Shared preference is a place where you can this is a tool that you can use as persistent storage, but don't use shared preference to save critic information. So because if you have committed information, don't save them in shared preference. Use another. There is encrypted shared preference, for example. But if you are talking about your repository, or if we are talking more around the information that you don't have to store it in private or public repositories, your API keys or your secrets has to be out of the repository. And there is another point there, really, really important, is don't save information thinking like, oh, I forgot it. I lost, because a mistake, I commit .env files to the repository. So I will do another commit, removing it. Don't do that, because there is a remote historic or history where you can find your secure information. So if you commit sensible information, what you have to do is to do a rollback, and also you have to delete the API key in the, I mean, if it was Gemini, you have to delete in Gemini the API key. There is no, I mean, just was, if you think, no worries, I did it just a couple seconds because I reversed the commit. To be honest, in couple seconds, the robots scans your public repositories looking for API keys. What is the smart way? The smart way, Flutter.f or Invite, for to have this information out. And also we can use Dart define to insert environments variables. But both can be perfect if we are talking about to split information. Dart is not secret. Yeah, because obfuscation is not exactly encryption. Flutter compiles to native code. Don't forget, there is two different compilers, the AOT and the JIT. JIT is used when we are working so what does this mean? This means when we are debugging, we are just playing the pushing play button just to run our Flutter apps. Dart will use the JIT compiler, and when we run it, the Dart virtual machine is inside. There is no obfuscation. Why? Because this is a debug version. Also, the size of the file is bigger because Flutter don't waste time working in to create the best or the most secure artifact, because the time when we are developing, we want to run it as soon as possible. We don't want to waste time in other things that we want to when we are ready to go to release, we are ready to publish our app. So don't forget, the apps can be obfuscated. That means the information can be changed. we want to obfuscate information. So the classes will be renamed for words, for example, class A, class B, class C. And inside of class A, we will have methods renamed by A, B, C. So we will see A.A calling or passing a parameter by C.D or things like that. So that's the way that the obfuscate works, and the obfuscate works really well. But sometimes, because we don't have time and our dependencies are not working properly, I have seen people don't care this, and they remove the obfuscating release versions, and I'm seeing ugly things like I'm saying, that this is really, really important, because the obfuscate scrambles your class and function names, making reverse engineering a headache, because you will need a file, the original file which was used obfuscating, if they want to disobfuscate our code. So, and coming go to the compiles to native code with AOT. The AOT compiler, this is used when we are calling Flutter build APK, or when we are creating a release version. We will see in this compiler, the obfuscate is enabled by default. The also the Dart virtual machine will not be included, so that's why the artifact file size will be decreased. So it's great to know. You have to use these for releases. So let's talk about secure storage. Shared preference, boo, it's a bad way. It's just an XML plist. Info.plist in Apple ecosystem is exactly an pretty and beautiful XML with a header of Apple, but it's exactly the same. Rooted phones can read this instantly. And not only that, also think about sometimes exploits can be discovered in Apple or in Android, and any of them means if you have a rooted device, that user can go through different sandboxes. Our apps are running in sandboxes, and that sandboxes theoretically are secure. So our information is secure because you cannot read other sandboxes. As developer, you have your app running in a sandbox with its shared preference, but our app cannot read other sandboxes or other shared preferences. But out of this theoretic, we can go through the root devices and vulnerable devices, and our shared preference will not be secure. What is a good way? A good way could be a wrapper around Android K-stores and iOS K-chain. Hardware bucket security, because there is more secure ways, for example, secure enclave and other. But Flutter secure storage is a good point if you want to storage secure information or sensible information. Don't forget, when we are talking about shared preference or secure storage, we are talking about information that cannot be bigger, like token, like API key, because your app will not have to collect a list of elements. Local auth is great because we can require Face ID or fingerprint before accessing the secure storage container. So it's really, really powerful as Flutter developers. Network security, great to know. Great to know because I'm still seeing projects that wants to jump the HTTPS layer. HTTPS is really, really old, but I'm seeing how UIT environments or because people want to do it quicker, because they don't trust. For example, UIT environments are self-certificated. Self-certificated has some concernings because the devices will not trust them, at least at the beginning. But that doesn't mean that cannot be changed. Also, there is a way to don't look up if it is this is a HTTP secure layer or not, and this is a really bad idea, really, really bad idea, because the second that I'm going to talk is really, really dangerous. Certificate pinning. I really love this because how many of us travel a lot? Sometimes we have to connect. Are you really concerned about the connection, the internet connectivity where I connect, if it is public or if I am connected to the hotel? Because certificate pinning is a way to avoid man in the middles. What exactly is a man in the middle? Man in the middle attack is a simple but effective attack that can you put somebody hearing your connection between you and the server. I'm gonna explain this because this can be more illustrated. For example, you connect your phone or your app to a server because you have an API REST connection. At the beginning, sounds well, and you can use HTTPS, or sometimes you have HTTP. So everything travel plain. But in any case, don't care if it is HTTP or HTTPS. At this point, what we want to know is what exactly is certificate pinning. You have an app that connects to the server, but who knows exactly what is the IP behind of that server? At the beginning, the DNS. DNS is the server of the domain names. So we will go to the DNS to ask, hey, I have, I want to know which IP is behind of www.victorcarreras.dev, because I'm going to say that is the endpoint. And so where is the DNS? The DNS is configured by when the connection with the Wi-Fi or Ethernet connection is done, and that DNS server can be poisoned, or can be maybe you don't know, but you are in a network with someone suspicious can poison the DNS, the domain name server. In that case, when your network or your laptop or your mobile app request to the DNS, what is the IP behind of this user, and resend a wrong IP, they can have a completely interception of our requests in order they can collect them and send them to the original. They will send each request for our devices as if we were them, but we are not. Are they as an impostor phase? So what we can do to avoid this? Certificate pinning. Certificate pinning, you have to insert, there is an effort because we have to insert the certificate inside of the folder of our project, and we will have inside the key of the certificate. With this key of this certificate, we can connect to the server, and before to establish the connection, we will say, hey, who are you? And with the public key and the secret key, because this is how the certificate SSL works, we can to be confident that the server that we are establishing connection is the true one, is the real one. So this is really, really, really important for us. Certificate pinning is in each truly project that the information is critical and the information has to be in a secure way. Not if I don't want to be the concerning guy, but there are more risks that we have to avoid as Flutter developers if we want to have cybersecurity skills as Flutter developer. That path.dev can have, I've seen a lot of times in NPM, for JavaScript, NPM repository, I could open many times and links a new malware inside of a NPM repository, because people wants to use just a dependency because they want to have some capability inside of their app. But sometimes they don't read or they don't go to the public repository to read the code and to see how popular it is or the health of it. Because I'm seeing banking apps and in a lot of categories, seeing how this can be a really risk. And in one time or another, they had an issue regarding this. They used a dependency which was infected with malware, and they had risks in many ways, different ways about this. So check the popularity and health scores in PathDev. Malicious packages. Avoid new packages with 0 likes or no REPL link. Truly, if there is no REPL link, thanks, but no thanks. It's like somebody calling you, giving you a sweet, a gummy or whatever. No thanks. I don't know where this came from. I don't want to. I can have my own. So avoid, please. Don't care if you are concerning the deadlines or things like that. Avoid new packages with 0 likes and no REPL links. No more discussions. Mandatory. Please regularly review your dependency tree. Audit it. But probably it's better if someone else can do it by you. Because developers, as QA, the quality assurance is better if it is done by someone who doesn't have more connection and more feeling about your code. So please, keep this in mind. Also, the safety net. Stop yourself before you wreck yourself, because humans forget, but the scripts don't. It's true. Use left hook or use hashkey to run checks. This is before every commit. Scan for API keys, tokens, it's things that use staged files. It's great. This is pre-hooks that you can use if you want to avoid them. This is really important. Automate things, it's always better. Now I want to share some packages that we have. There is a repository from NextOS. Okay. Inside of it, we have a set of tools and guidelines for reverse engineering Flutter apps. The scripts are designed to assist in analyzing and understanding the structure and behavior of the reversed Flutter apps. So, which kind of well, we have Reflutter. Reflutter, this framework helps with Flutter apps reverse engineering using the patched version of the Flutter library, which is already compiled and ready for app repacking. This library has a snapshot deceleration process, so you can listen, you can traffic interceptions, you have Dart CC is modified to print classes, functions, and some fields. So it's really interesting. And also, this is this is a fork bomb for Flutter. Flutter applications can be found in security analysis projects or bug bounty programs. Most often, such assets are simply overlooked due to the lack of methodologies and ways to reverse engineer them. I decided not to skip this anymore and developed the Reflutter tool. The point is demonstrate on the BMGW app intercepting traffic in Burp Suite and capturing functions argument via Frida, recompile engine manually using Docker, and talk about a specific approach of Flutter. This is the overview, this is the arguments, and this is how can be Dart source, can be used methods in the kernel binary. This type flow analysis tries to establish more precise types information for variables and fields. And this is the virtual machine in IoT snapshots. IoT compilation toolchain is historically based on GIT compiler. It goes method by method through the same steps as GIT. The only difference is that no speculative optimizations can be applied in IoT. So we can read how this Flutter app, what we have. This is the structure of the release APK with information. The lib folder contains only architecture ARM64. Okay. And we can read, and this is the table list. So I suggest you to read deeply this information because it's really, really interesting regarding the capabilities that you can use. This is flutter.env. It is really interesting because you can load in runtime a .env file, which can be used through the application. So you can create .env file like this, key equals value, each times that you want, and also you can use other variables as key, as value. You can use the key of other values as new values. Also, you have to add this .env file to your pubspec.yml, like this in the assets. And remember, don't forget, in uppercase, I would do it. Don't forget to remember to add the .env file as an entry in your .git ignore. Load the .env file in the main.dart, and with a single line, you can access to them or create. If you cannot read them, you can just only give a default value, because this can be this is the load in the starting of the app, and this is how you can read it. Just .env, and the bar name, and it will work perfectly. And invite is another that can be used, but different. You can use this invite because invite will generate a part file which contains the values from your .env file using builder runner, and you can then use the env class to access like this. So both are interesting. As you can see, each time is getting more and more, but .env is really more popular. As you can see, the number of users is really, really big. So coming from again to the slides, Flutter security checklist, never commit.env for secrets, use Dart define or invite as we just saw, or .env, obfuscate your release builds, don't skip this, use Flutter security storage for security reasons, pin certificates always as you can, with HTTP certificate pinning, and audit your PubSpec YAML each 30 times. Because, I mean, every so often could be great to audit your PubSpec YAML. Let's see HTTP certificate. Let's see if we can find it. HTTP pinning certificate. Here it is. And as you can see, just to using Dio, for example, you just have to add the certificate, and automatically, as you can see, add certificate pinning interceptor. And just you can read the allow, say, ASHA fingerprints indicate client. It would be enough. And also, this is the list of strings. It's really interesting, and this is how you can have the finger with OpenSSL. You can get the certificate fingerprint, for example, to SHA 256. Again, coming back. Thanks so much for everybody. If you have more questions, it could be a pleasure to hear all of you. So let's see if somebody wants to ask.
Sure. Let's gonna see. Guys in the Discord or in the YouTube channel, let's see if there are questions for Mentor Victor in the YouTube chat, but we already have. Binayak is writing. So I'm seeing if there's any question. No. Let's wait for a minute. Victor, thank you again for coming, because I have it totally clear that you are starting to get something. You're a bit away, so you make a total effort today to to stay with us, and I appreciate a lot. And you know that.
Many thanks, many thanks.
So, my question: what are the other information that we must hide during the app development except API key? Aryan Sharma.
Okay, yeah, tokens. Things like your app has a login. If you have a login, things like your token. Let's put this in the worst case. Your token is a live 15 minutes or 30 minutes and is your banking account token. For sure, we don't want to have this token in a shared preference. We want to have it probably in secure enclave, if it is possible, out of the device, because there is a big risk for our customers if we want to put them in a safe way. Also, this is not only the token is the best example that we want to, but maybe there is sensible information. The GDPR in Europe, or the probably the best approaches to sensible information is not only put them. Think like, for example, you have a user ID, and that user ID is the government ID. Probably you don't want neither to have in a empty file. As developers, we want to secure, is our responsibility, secure the information as important or sensible it is, because there is different levels of risks and different levels of sensibilities. So we have to keep this in mind. If we want to save the limit of loops the apps will execute, you can use whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Don't care. Choose the one that you want. But if we are talking about maybe the picture of the user, or we are talking about more sensitive information.
Okay. So another question: how do you recommend contributors store secrets locally during development?
Okay. Maybe if you don't know prehooks is a challenge that you have to fight with, because it's not simple, and the language is not. Sometimes it's based in JavaScript. Another one is based in Haskell. So maybe the language is not familiar with, but. My suggestion is internalize. You have to use end files. End files always in your development. End files and also in the gitignore. Your first step is add end file in the gitignore. The second step is create it, but don't create it without add it, because humans make mistakes, but machines doesn't.
Okay. As we hide IPAs from gitignore, is there also some other way?
Another way for, repeat again, please.
For hiding gitignore. They're both on size. They hide IPAs with gitignore.
Yes.
Is there also some other way to do that?
Well, end files is the best way. If you want to hide secrets inside of the repository, for example, if you are think like you have a pipeline, and that pipeline. Maybe you have to inject the secrets. And yes, there is another way in that we saw was Dart define. Dart define can be used for defining secrets. Defining secrets is you will inject this sensible information in the command that you run the app. In my point of view, it's better to have the end file because this Dart define can be used for environments. If you want to run UIT, you want to run production, Dart define is great. Sensitive information, for me, it's better end files.
Okay. If a secret is suddenly revealed by mistake, what is the process to report it and rotate it?
Great question.
Just do that.
Great question, because the people things like, well, I deleted in 30 seconds or in 1 minute. It is enough. Well, first of all, how you delete it? You deleted it doing a revert or just to create another commit deleting the file? Because in the history of the repository, the secrets will be again. Because you have a commit adding it and another future commit deleting it. But both exists in our history. So that it is enough. What you have to do is go where you create it and delete it. This is what you have to do. Don't things like your information is public. Your API key is known by everybody. So you have to change it as soon as possible. And if your credit card is related with that API key, because it's a paid API key, cross fingers and block your credit card.
Just in case. Okay, let's go because there are still a few questions.
Okay.
And we are almost running out of time. Almost every CI/CD pipeline has built-in secret managers, either in GitHub Actions, Azure DevOps, Jenkins, or any other.
Exactly.
So,
that's the point. What about if how can I insert my end file in GitHub Actions? If I have a pipeline, or if I want to automate the publish of the app, if I want to automate this part of the app, in this process, what I have to do is using GitHub secrets. You have to insert the content of your files in your secrets and to add steps for read that secrets and create the files before to start the building the app or before distributing the app. So that has to be in our secrets because GitHub and GitLab and Bitbucket will store it in a secure way for us.
Okay. This is Rexy that is answering other contributors. Banjak, they do provide secret managers, but what safeguards should developers add on top of the built-in secret managers to avoid accidental leakage during logging or debugging? So what else you can do on top of the tools already available?
It's true. There is the secrets manager for me is a need with two ways because it's fine, but don't forget Flutter Secure Storage is something encrypted in the keychain of the iOS or encrypted self-preference on Android. So that means, of course, the user can, I not want to say can be stupid, but cannot be a good, cannot be used as in a properly way. And if he's not using it in a properly way, his keychain can be shared or this manager can be shared. But the point is, this is out of our, as developers, we have to put them or give the users our best um, our our best quality and security that we can provide them.
Deepen also asks, what key management mistakes do you see with any kind of developers contributing specifically to our project? Do you remember some moments that people share their own key or?
But are we talking about the Liquid Galaxy or?
Yes, specifically.
Yes. Okay, in Liquid Galaxy, probably in a security way is to have clear the how to use in files and the responsibility of this. The HTTP certificate pinning is not something that we have seen an issue, but something that I always see is, let me go back to this, malicious packages. I'm seeing a lot of people using packages with 0 likes, or nobody knows, or maybe it is in
Never.
Yeah, in Chinese. And
you never have to do this. You look for a high rate of starting.
I mean,
GitHub
yes, of course. And I always share we importing packages. We are giving, we are trusting in the owners of those packages. So sometimes I'm seeing, and also in NPM, each month I read an malicious NPM package with affecting banking apps, affecting critical, and it is because they had, they had the functionality, but nobody audit the.
Yeah. So a very simple case is that I'm missing some strange sound.
Yeah.
Because what's that? Is that a road?
Your voice.
My voice is freaking out. What the hell? Hold on a second. Hola. Well, we have to close this.
Okay.
Something strange is happening.
Okay.
Again. So the question was that lots of contributors, I would say a few of them, just simply have their own keys to go to the APIs, AI, so on, inserted in the code. And this is the more simple thing they don't have to do. No?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Do you listen to me? I don't know why my voice is just.
Yeah, it's like a wave.
Oh, I don't know what's happening. I have to throw out my system. That's terrible. I will say separate. Well, this guy is answering the other guys. Okay, thank you, Rexy. But please leave the space to the mentor to do that. How do I detect if someone is using a leaked key?
Leaked.
Okay.
A leaked key. Yeah. I mean, you will know it because, thanks of God, Google is one of these. Because don't forget, in the list that we show it, we show bots scan public repos in seconds. One of that bots are coming from Google because Google is taking care of their own API keys. So you will have an email coming from Google saying, remove that key. We just disable it, but I'm gonna punish you.
Okay, we're gonna close this here. Victor, my voice is fading out.
Thanks so much.
I don't know why. Thank you very much for coming. And contributors, Thank you for the ones that have been attending both the streaming and so on, but we have to close because my voice is fading away. You know. Thank you very much, Victor. See you. See you guys.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
To a world you can see through panoramic screens, living in the grand spatial dream. Visualize just what we mean. Innovation shaping our fate. Together we celebrate. From data to display, community lights the way.